Welcome back to the channel, guys.
Looks like you've got something tacky going on over here.
We have, mate, K16.
Yeah.
Learning curve for you.
Is this a 16 or an 18?
This is an 1800
Oh, right.
VVC. So they do the 14, the 18, and the 16 is a Honda engine, I believe.
Right.
So this is the VVC one, 1800. The VVC is the variable valve control system on the cylinder head. So we are doing away with the VVC. We're going normal cams, vernier pulleys. We've got the blanking kit for the VVC to block all that off on the head.
Yep.
We've had the head ported. Oh, bit of dirt in there.
Oh yeah.
So we've got to clean this out anyway. But
looks smashing, that.
it is a very nice cylinder head, this.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a lot of the bits, mate, actually. We've got Marlin Motorsport crank bearings.
Oh, right.
Standard. Yeah. Crank was good, polished it. You've got to balance it. We've knife edged it.
Yeah, it's been knife edged.
Very nice. We've got the acrylite pistons from QED.
Which look absolutely lovely.
Very nice. We've got the camshafts, a 274 profile from Newman Cams.
Yeah.
So these are a sort of a mild race cam, if you like.
It's a bit hot.
It
Not
is,
too
yeah.
much.
We've got the max speeding rods, which are very nice.
Yeah, they are. They look lovely, to be honest.
So this combination with the max speeding rods is the standard rod length.
Yeah.
To go with the acrylite pistons, this is a circlip setup rather than the original shrink fit on the rod. These are a 12:1 compression ratio piston. They're a high comp piston.
Very high.
So if you compare them to the original is a sort of flat top, really, with a bit of a bowl in it.
Yeah.
Very shallow valve cutouts there. So these are obviously flush at the top. But 12:1 would be going on a standard head gasket with a standard head. Now we all know with these Rovers, they've had a fair amount chomped off the head. Usually a telltale sign is this little area here. So if it goes past there, you're sort of at maximum. This is fairly thin there, so I suspect this has had a fair bit chomped off.
Yeah.
So being a sort of a fast roady, racy engine, mate, we've got to do numerous amounts of checks on this. So the first thing we'll be doing, I'll be getting you to do, will be putting a plug into this cylinder head and checking out the volume of the chambers in there,
right? Yeah.
To see what we've got. Okay. Next thing, you can see we've got some fairly leery valve pockets in these pistons. Yeah. They're actually about 70 thou deeper than the originals. So if we do our usual sort of trick where you line it up with the original, we're actually 70 thou higher there. Okay.
So you're using the gudgeon pin there to
yeah, exactly. So we are going to have to chomp some off the top of these pistons, no doubt.
Yeah.
So what we've got to do is, as I say, check the volume on the head. Now we want to be ending up running about 11:1, 11.5:1, something like that. I've got to check with the customer. I'm sure he said 11.5:1, but I want to confirm with him that. But which either of it is, we are going to have to mod the piston crowns to suit.
Right.
So we've got the uprated head gasket. So this consists of multi-layer steel head gasket with the saver shim. So we're not going to be running the saver shim. We're going to be obviously modding the pistons.
Right, yeah. Mod the pistons to suit.
That's right, to get our ratio. So we've got to work out the thickness, the area in there, the volume inside the cylinder head. The cylinder head gasket as well. We've also got to find out the volume in these valve pockets,
right,
and see how much we need to be taking off them, to get our compression ratio where we want it. So the block, going over to the block. So we've just stuck the liners in there at the moment. Now you can see there's areas on the block which are not great. You've blasted this, so it's all nice and sort of clean, really, and looks nice now. So what we've got to do is take the liners out, very light lick over the block just to clean it, okay, to give us a nice flat area. Then what we're going to do is put the liners in, and we're going to get the correct jut out. So we're going to go for about 3 thou of protrusion.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we should be doing is individually putting them in the lathe, clocking the face, and removing each one, marking the liners up as we go, so we know exactly where they've got to go.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be doing to get our. So that obviously we've taken a little bit off the block. That's obviously going to make the piston sit more proud as well. So
first thing really is block, face the block.
And, first thing's the block.
Work out.
Balance the crank assembly.
Yeah.
Then we can get the crank in. Make sure all the clearances on the crank are good. Then it'll be pistons down the holes with the rods. Just dummy them in there. Once we know the volumes of our gasket and our head. And then we'll know how much to take off the pistons. Ring gaps, we've got to do those. What else? Valve to piston clearance. Knowing these pistons and looking at the size of the pockets, even if we had to take this piston down to where the original one is, so say 70 thou off there, or even 2 mil, we're going to end up with about 4.5 mil deep pockets in there. So I would say, going off the cam specs, we're going to have more than enough, probably another extra 2 mil of clearance there for the valve to pistons. So we'll double check that anyway when we plonk the head on and all the bottom end's sort of intact. But yeah, quite a lot to do on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be letting you do that and run through it.
Yeah.
The main thing which I was concerned about, I said in the last video, was the running clearance of these acrylite pistons. Now, I know just from going off the Cosworths that these things run about 4 thou of running clearance as opposed to the standard sort of 2.5 thou.
Yeah.
So you have to ease the bores out in the Cosworth to fit these pistons. But I've double checked. I've measured the piston. The standard bore is 80 mil. The measurement of that piston skirt is 4 thou less than the 80 mil. So basically they've incorporated the running clearance in the size of the piston.
Right, okay.
So I've set the bore gauge up to 80 mil, giving us the correct clearance for that. And when I measured the liners, absolutely bang on.
Yeah.
That's good news. It means we haven't got to start making torque plates and honing anything out of those liners. They're all good to go.
Didn't think about that.
Which is good, mate. So, yeah, we can start cracking on with the K16, which is good news, isn't it?
Ideal.
Well, here we are in the office, guys. Been a few videos since I've sat in the office. Today, what am I going to go on about? How many of you business owners, small business owners, large business owners, whatever, have heard the term, there ain't no friends in business? Eh? I'm sure many of you will be commenting down below on this one to tell us of any experiences you've had with this so-called friends in business. Yeah, so my experience in business and in life, I've probably had 2 or 3 ones that really do spring to mind. Perfect examples of why there are no friends in business. What I seem to have discovered since I've been a business owner, bit different to when I was employed, but particularly being a small business owner, it's difficult because you need to build a relationship, I feel, to a certain extent, build a relationship with a customer, so you sort of become friends enough so you can talk on a friendly basis about the job that you're doing for them. But when it's doing work for friends in particular, so people that have been your friend outside of work, not just people that come in pretending to be your friend, that's when things can get complicated. And from my previous experience, yeah, there's been 2 or 3 examples of where I've actually fell out with friends over business, where I probably, it's, to be honest, it is difficult because you've got to put on a sort of thick skin. I've now got to the point, especially since I've run the channel, and you guys have put suggestions in comments and emails and stuff, even in person and over the phone, on how you recommend that I run a business when it comes to relationships with customers and putting things down in email and all this. So yeah, the channel's been really useful in that respect. But yeah, there's been awkward times when, you know, you've had so-called friends and they expect the earth maybe, or expect you to not charge them. Or one example where you sort of think you're friends with someone and then they go and dump on you from a great height, and you think, well, that example there is really just a life lesson, isn't it? I suppose as you get older, I've discovered that just generally in life, not just in business, your friends circle gets smaller and smaller, and you realise, especially with maybe a bit of success, etc., who are your real friends and who are not. So it tends to, for me, it's tended to sort of narrow down. I've got a very small circle of close friends, really, and then all you rely on then is sort of family, I suppose. So yeah, it's a difficult one, guys. As I say, I've only really just put this in this video today just to see. It'd be quite interesting to read the comments down below, and if you want to chuck me an email on any experience you've had with this there ain't no friends in business subject, then feel free to comment, etc. But yeah, it's a sad old state of affairs, but you find that people, like I say, you find that people who you think are your friends generally are not really. They're just everyone these days. It's the same with customers, people that aren't your friends that come in here and come into your business, and you end up sort of, I suppose, befriending. You find out that these days it's got a lot worse. Everyone is out to do you. Everyone is out to get a freebie. And yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, really. So you've got to be straight down the line. I mean, now with friends, I get people coming here that I've known for years, not just friends, but you get this, can you do me a favour? And the answer is, we'll do anyone a favour as long as the price is right. So it doesn't matter whether you're friends, family, a stranger, it's all the same to me when you walk in this door. I try and be as fair as possible, but I don't treat anyone any more special than the next person, to be honest. So yeah, let us know, guys, in the comments if you've had any experience of that. I'd like to hear some stories, and maybe if I see a couple of good ones, I might mention them in the next video. Bad news on the C63. Now, I know you was excited to do this, mate, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Unfortunately, the customer has had a change of circumstances. Notified me that he's going to be picking this up the weekend. So I sent in the bill for the work that we've done, and he's going to be coming and collecting this, unfortunately.
Oh well.
So
can't do them all, can you?
Can't do them all, mate, but I'm sure we'll get to do one in the future. But yeah, it's a lovely motor anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon that would be quite a nice one to build, really.
It would have been, yeah. It's a nice, sort of simple, really, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, like a modernised, simple V8, really, I suppose.
Yeah. Got all the bits coming for the V6.
Yeah.
So we've managed to get a forged crankshaft as opposed to a non-forged. Don't know whether the standard ones are forged or not.
I don't know.
Don't think so. Or whether the forge will make any difference to this problem that we think that it's got. Don't know. Customers going for the rebore as opposed to a re-ring.
Yeah.
We would have re-ringed this because it's a pretty new motor.
Yeah.
Obviously there'll be no warranty on
the bores.
So he's gone for the rebore. So we're going to be boring that to plus £0.5 mil, facing the blocks. And then, yeah, all the bits are on order, so they should arrive this week.
So this is 60 degree, isn't it, this one?
I think it is, yeah.
V6, so we might have a bit of fun setting that up on the boring bar, and well, the boring bar should be alright, because you've got your little bar to go through the mains, haven't you?
Yeah, the bar, yeah, we'll be able to do it somehow, I would have thought.
The mill will be a bit interesting.
Got to set it up on the mill, which is a bit
Bit of a game.
Going to be a bit of a game, innit? But
Be alright though, do
I'm
it.
sure you'll get over it, mate.
Yeah. Just not going to be as easy as using our little jig, but...
Not really. Never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully all the bits will be here this week, and we should be able to crack on with this next week.
Yeah.
Get it done by the end of next week, innit?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Out the door.
Out the door.
Yeah. Nearly finished the Figaro stuff. John's just grinding a crankshaft. Now, I know many people have been asking about doing a video with John on the crank grinder, and we did try persuading him this morning, didn't we?
We had a go.
Didn't seem to want to know. Come up with the excuses. I've only got to do the mains on these, and I think everyone would want to see me do the big ends. So the next time he gets a crankshaft up there where he's got to do all of the journals, we're going to hold him to that.
Yeah.
Get a mic on him, and
stick a mic on when he ain't looking.
stick a mic on the back of his hood.
Yeah.
And you can go over and fire some questions at him and hope he answers them. So
Hopefully
yeah, sorry about
the
that.
Camera,
But yeah. So yeah, the Figaro's nearly done. Just waiting for the last block to cool. John's just got to grind them cranks. We can box them all up, and that'll be on its way, won't it?
Yeah.
We've got another 2 Cosworths coming in.
Really?
Apparently.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been a bit
sort of
been a bit weird, isn't it?
It went from sort of like thinning out in here to all of a sudden we're sort of doing.
Well, it's a bit quiet in the engine department, but we've had quite a lot of machining to do.
Yeah.
We've got a load of machining there to do on a Cosworth. We've got another box of Cosy stuff here, which we've got. That's another story. I'll show you when we get the head back from Tom. That's sort of covered in eagle poo.
Oh, really?
Stroke dodgy weld.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got some tidying up to do with all that stuff. The cranks up there, we've got to grind. Actually, we've got to
Full grind.
Full grind.
Nice.
There's your video. We're going to hold him to that.
Afternoon.
John, get your mic on. You've got a Cosy to grind here. Flywheel, we've got a face. It's the usual hot spots. This is actually quite a good one by the looks of it. They usually fry the hell out of them, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Sort the rods out.
And you've
building this.
you bought some new dowels, haven't you?
Bought some new dowels, yeah, because they're an arse. They
I spent
sometimes
bloody days making dowels.
they do them at Burton, mate. I've just bought a big whack of them.
Probably better to do that, isn't it?
It's a bit quicker, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got some more Cosys in the pipeline, but it's been a little bit. The phone, engine-wise, it's actually quite nice to get on with some machining.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's just nice having a bit of variation, like
It is really, isn't it?
whatever you're doing, as long as it's a bit different to what you were doing the last week. You're
Yeah,
sort of quite happy to do.
the machining's just like it's just nice. You just turn it around and out it goes. You haven't got the pressures of having to build a motor, organise everything, but yeah, it's been a bit weird. Phone's been a little bit quiet in that department in the last few weeks. But then it's that time of year. You usually find there's a mad rush in winter to come up to the spring, but this time of year it's all settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
Coming up to the school holidays, isn't it? People are going on holiday.
Exactly, holidays and sort of already got their cars all sorted, ready for summer. And
That's it, innit? But no doubt it will go crazy again in a minute. We'll make the most of it, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit chilled out for a minute.
Been down to see Tom today with the E30. Hopefully the next couple of days. He's going in for paint next week, so he needs to hurry up a little bit, bless him. But he's knee deep in it down there, in fairness.
Yeah, he's got loads.
But he has, apart from the silencer, he's got all the exhaust on there, and it looks fantastic.
Does it look good, does it?
Looks good, yeah.
So the silencer that's not on there, is that the one you're having in the fuel, where the fuel tank is?
No, the silencer, it's just a little
the very
silencer,
last
the one that
resonator
holds.
sort of
We're going to have the twin 2.5-inch up sweeps, like on the DTM sweep. Behind that, we've got the two 10-inch silencers that are going into where the fuel tank was, which has incorporated that space nicely.
Right.
So it comes down 3 into 2, and then all the way over goes into those boxes. But in the middle of that, there's bypass tubes with electronic valves.
That'll be cool.
So we can bypass it and make it a bit noisy if we want.
Very nice.
But for track use, we're going to have in effect 3 silencers, so it'll be nice and quiet.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, it should be quite good fun, that.
Yeah.
Make it all nice and noisy if we want, isn't it?
Just to open the valves when you're around the back of the track.
Yeah.
When no one's watching.
Yeah. Or just round the town, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that. We need to get it back, get it stripped. got to send all the stuff off the bottom to be blasted and powder coated. Got to get our seat in there, make sure that all fits all right. Basically everything we want done before it goes to paint, so we haven't got to start drilling holes in the nice fresh orange paint.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart idea, isn't it, really? Sort of get stuff dummied up.
Exciting news for you in your channel.
Yeah, there'll be a little video on there tonight.
Tonight, is it?
I reckon.
Ideal. Well, I'll stick a link to your channel in case no one on here has been on there yet, but go down to the link in the description below and head over to Isaac's channel.
Yeah.
Barham BTS, and
that's it.
That's the one. Yeah, exciting for you, mate.
Yeah, trying to contain myself a little bit.
Will it be the weekend or will it be next? Who knows? Go over there and watch.
We'll see.